So this film is based on Andy Mulligan's novel. Was it, when you read it, did it immediately strike you, the cinematic potential?
What struck me was it was a story that I hadn't ever done before. So it was a sort of it's a book for young people. It's about young people, and it felt like an adventure story, and I had never done one of those before. And also it was just such a wonderful challenge because it felt, you know, I had to set it in a country because Andy hadn't. It was based on his experience in Brazil, India, and the Philippines, and I had to make my choice about which country to set it in. And so I started off in Brazil because of a friend of mine, Fernando Morales, lives and works there as a film director. And I never left, really. I started working with young people in different communities there. And again, it felt such an extraordinary challenge to work in a culture that I was not well versed in a language I didn't speak, working with non-professionals, all who come from very challenging backgrounds. Just felt such an extraordinary, wonderful journey to go on. And in the end, it was a wonderful journey to go on because of these incredible kids that are at the centre of the film. Yeah,
and the kids are absolutely incredible. I just really enjoyed watching their camaraderie. Did you have much time to prepare before sort of start shooting, or did that chemistry just come when you started shooting?
No, we spent, chance would be a fine thing. No, we spent many months in the different communities, different favelas, working with different young people, and these boys actually, over many, many months, before we even cast them. And then many months after that, getting them ready. And it wasn't really getting them ready as a silly thing to say, it's giving them ownership of the story. So it was really talking to them, explaining what the story might be, and letting them tell it back to us in a way that made sense for them. And so that took a long, long period of time. But I think the fruits of it are that the kids, you know, the film is infused with their energy, but also their sense of humour. In Brazil, it plays as a straightforward comedy, because they're very, very funny. But their friendship and things that are really important to them, like justice, anger at the police, but a sense of determination, tenacity, and courage, I think.
And it must have also been great having actors like Rooney and Martin Sheen there to help guide them as well.
Well, again, the advantage of Martin Sheen and Rooney is, and one of the reasons we cast them, is, for example, Martin Sheen, I don't know whether you know this, but spent years after he made Apocalypse Now on a landfill site in the Philippines called Smoky Mountain, where he'd build housing and shower facilities for different groups there. For about a decade he worked there, on and off. And Rooney Mara spent a huge amount of time in Kenya with her own foundation in the slums in Kenya. So they came with their own particular knowledge, and of course, an experience of that. So really, the luck, the joy for me was actually watching them, how they would work as NGOs in those communities, which they had a lot of experience with.
I wanted to ask about the opening 15 minutes or so, because I think it has some of the most efficient exposition I've seen in the film in quite some time. It was very impressive. Can you just talk about working with Elliot Graham, the editor, and what that collaboration was like?
Elliot Graham was fantastic as an editor, and I'm so pleased you say that. And he'll be thrilled to hear you say that. Yeah, he was very good. And obviously he got a lot of footage, do you know what I mean? And the hard thing about the film, from an editorial point of view, is that the kids often didn't repeat the same thing. You know, they would do a scene, and then you try to, you know, sometimes you have to move the camera, and they would not necessarily ever do the same thing again. They'd just do something else, which was kept them so bright and alive and funny and authentic. But it made his job particularly hard. But I'm glad you say that, yeah. I always wanted to be fast and furious. Do you know what I mean? It starts and it just doesn't stop.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of fast and furious, the chase sequences as well are really, really enjoyable. Can you talk about some of the challenges you faced shooting in VO and what that was like?
Well, while we were working with the kids for a long, we used to give them time off, really. I say give them time off. And they used to spend a lot of time really just jumping about and learning different sort of physical skills, which did become very useful when we were shooting these scenes in the favelas, which were, there's no question about it, it was dangerous. Not because the communities were dangerous, the communities were wonderful and very welcoming to us. What was dangerous is just reinforcing the buildings that the kids had to run along, because often there was the danger that they would just fall through, because these are, they're sort of very shanty-esque, a lot of those communities. So that was the biggest challenge, is reinforcing the roofs or the rooftops or the walls that the kids had to run up and down.
And this isn't the first time that you've worked from a book, and including this one. I'm wondering, once the screenplay is written and once you're shooting, do you still refer to the book while you're on set, and do you hold them in equal importance?
There's no rules to this. I mean, in this particular case, no, we did not, because it was, again, we were trying to give ownership of the story to the kids. So the kids really told us what was important for them and how the story would work. So this was much more listening to the kids and how they would allow this story to make sense for them. And we gave them huge freedom huge amount of freedom to change the story if they thought it needed to be changed. But I just got very lucky with these kids, because I think they're astonishing. And the heart of the film is this incredible journey of friendship and hope that they give us.
Completely agree. Stephen, thank you for your time today. I appreciate it.
Pleasure. Nice to see you. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey You Guys, huh?
Hey, you guys.
Is that from the Goonies?
It is indeed, yes.
Nice.
Hey!